Welcome to Whisky.com. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, and I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. Today I brought a Bowmore Cask Strength. Yeah, better to say 100 degrees proof. Here you see it on the card box label. There has been a Bowmore Cask Strength in the past, and it has 56 ABV, and it was called cask strength even when it wasn't a cask strength, because the whiskey was quite young and it was stronger than 56, and the distillery diluted the whiskey down to 56 and wrote it on the card box, wrote it on the label, and that's it. But then legislation came in, I think, 2009. There was a new legislation in the UK telling the whiskey distilleries, if you write cask strength on your card box and on your label, the whiskey has to be cask strength. And that means that when you mix your casks together to have a full batch, and say between 10,000 and 50,000 bottles of a batch, then your ABV will not be 56, but 56.8, 57.1, whatever. All the casks mixed together will result in. That's it. So they have to switch from the cask strength to another measurement, and they said 100 degrees proof. So if you're living in the US, you say 100 degrees proof means 50% ABV, but only in the US. In Scotland, there's the old imperial measurement, and that says 100 degrees proof means 57% ABV or 57.1. And every 3% ABV are 5 additional degrees. So if you have a 60, which is 3% ABV more than 57, then you're at 105 proof, which, for example, the Glenfarclas 105 carries. And here Bowmore decided to have 57.1 as 100 degrees proof. Here you can see the measurement. It's a spindle, the old Archimedes principle, where you can measure the density of the mixture between water and alcohol, and there you can measure at a certain temperature the ABV. Then the bottle is non-chill filtered. Unlock a powerful combination of rich smoke, sweet caramelized sugar, vanilla, and citrus. Yes, we here see a whiskey from the Isle of Islay on the west coast of Scotland, and their history shows that there the whiskies are very, very smoky. And Bowmore, here you can see the Isle of Islay, the small island. Here is the magnification of it. Lies on the west coast of Scotland, of the mainland. And there was a lot of peat in the surroundings. They cut peat and burned it to dry the barley. And from this burning of peat, the smoke comes into the whiskey. And Bowmore is one of the distilleries which is not too heavy in smoke, but still very, very strong. You measure it in ppm, parts per million, and Bowmore lies around 30 to 35 ppm. The younger the whiskey is, the higher typically the smoke develops in a whiskey. The older the whiskey becomes, the more the smoke diminishes. The first Islay malt That means Bowmore is the oldest distillery on the Isle of Islay, established 1779, which is, yeah, quite old. Yeah. The bottle is heavy. It's a huge bottle. It's a 1 liter bottle, typically sold through the travel value, and most of the countries allow to import 1 liter of liquors with no limit in the ABV. So if you come through a travel value when you fly abroad, then bring back one of these bottles, a liter with a high ABV. Most of the value you can bring back for reasonable money. The bottle is it was established 2003, I think, 10 years old already, but with the engraving here on it, beautiful bottle. On the eye, rich auburn, breath in fresh sea air, subtle sweet malt and oak smoke, sip rich, luscious smokiness balanced with sweet caramelized sugar, vanilla and citrus notes. Savor the powerful, fulsome, warming finish. Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, already smoky on the nose. I have a principle for myself. Never drink a whiskey with more than 50 ABV. 100 US proof. Why? Alcohol is a nervous poison, which means alcohol acts on the nerves on your tongue, and therefore you will taste less after you had a whiskey with more than 50 ABV. And therefore I say all whiskey will be diluted with still table water down to values below 50. For myself, I feel 43, 45, 46, up to 48. I feel okay. As soon as it's climbing above 48, I don't feel that comfortable. The alcohol is much stronger than the natural flavors inside a whiskey. Ah, smokiness. But not too strong. Behind the smokiness, there's fresh sea air. Like you're walking on the seashore and you tear in the sea and the rotten tang. A little saltiness remembers me of salt. There's no salt in it, it's distilled, so there can't be any salt in it. A little sweetness, barley perhaps, and a very, very little oakiness. Not much. The smoke is the dominant here. In the back there's a little fruitiness, a little citrus, which comes from the distillery character of Bowmore. So, have a little water. If you see the water going into the whiskey, then they don't mix very fast. And after sometimes 30 seconds, 60 seconds, then the whiskey gets more harmonic, fresher, much fresher. The sea is developing. The citrus is 10 times stronger than before. And a little bit of the caramel is coming through. Yeah, let's have a taste. Strong, powerful, but not too heavy. You feel that this whiskey is quite young. The oakiness isn't there. The maturation hasn't gone too long. You got the fresh aromas from the cask, the vanilla, the fruitiness from the distillery, a little sweetness and caramel from the cask, and that's it. There are no tannins in it, no coconut, not the substances which develop with a long maturation in a cask. Yeah, diluting the whiskey reduces also the smokiness. Yeah, whenever you come through a travel value, have a look for this bottle. You get a lot of strong whiskey, and if you dilute it, you will result in 1.4 liters of whiskey instead of 0.7 or 0.75 you typically get with a normal whiskey at 40 or 43% ABV. Thank you for watching and stay tuned at Whisky.com.